It's time to get your morning started with the news you need to know.
News update.
This is what's trending with DJ and PK. Hashtag NBA.
I personally think that he wants to be great. You know, he had a hell of a year at Duke. Guy that can do so many different things on the floor. Can play with the ball, can play without the ball. You know, his jump shot is going to continue to get better. Super athletic, quick second jump. And also, he gets to join a team that's established.
Right.
With Hall of Fame guys, Klay Thompson, Anthony Davis, Kyrie Irving, right off the bat. Hall of Fame coach Jason Kidd. You know, these guys are like, they can give him the whole blueprint while he continues to learn what his blueprint will be. And I think that's going to be an incredible thing for him to have that type of presence, that type of leadership, you know, just basketball IQ and knowledge around him every single day from those pieces. So I think he's going to be amazing.
That's LeBron James talking about Cooper Flagg, who will be the first pick in the NBA draft tonight, and then Harper will be the second. And then it'll get interesting.
It will. Yeah, I agree with everything LeBron said there. I think he's spot on.
In advance of the draft, we've got trades. The Boston Celtics trying to reduce that luxury tax bill, so they make another move. They trade Kristaps Porzingis to the Atlanta Hawks, 3-team deal. Boston also sends a second-round pick to Atlanta. Terrence Mann and the number 22 pick go to the Nets. Former Jazz man George Niang and a second-round pick head to Boston. Celtics will be saving $180 million in luxury taxes when you combine this move with the Drew Holiday move yesterday. And now we can wait for more draft night trades because the Brooklyn Nets aren't going to draft 5 times, are they, PK? 5 times in the first round? They're sitting on 5 first-round picks.
Well, they could and then make trades. It wouldn't surprise me for the Jazz to draft someone and then trade him. Like Washington apparently covets Ace Bailey really, really bad, and Ace Bailey apparently wants to go there, and they draft one spot behind the Jazz. So sure, we'll draft him, and then we take your spot, and then you give us something else. So it's a 2-for-1 type of thing. And then Jaylen Brown, what are they going to do with him? Opportunity to pilfer him, maybe.
Boston has saved $180 million. They want to save $500 million. So to your point, PK, more guys are on the move. How many more remains to be seen. Maybe Brown, maybe Derek White. Who will they move? Pelicans traded C.J. McCollum, Kelly Olynyk, and a future second-round pick to the Wizards for Jordan Poole, Sadiq Bey, and the number 40 pick in the second round. Tonight's draft. So everybody's making moves. That Pelican-Wizard deal do anything for you?
No.
Maverick star Kyrie Irving going to sign 3 years, $119 million extension with the franchise. So he'll be sticking around to play with Cooper Flagg, probably. And as far as Ace Bailey, who PK just mentioned, former Rutgers forward, said he isn't fretting about the talk about him possibly falling in the draft. Quote, I can control what I can control. Me playing basketball. Close quote.
Well, that was his big thing, and then some reporters followed up. Well, you could have controlled
going to a workout.
Yeah,
right.
I'm just focused on basketball. And I said, well, that is basketball. So, I mean, he gave a real textbook interview of not saying anything and sticking to the Marshawn Lynch, I'm here so I don't get fined type thing. And why do it? He didn't want to hear it. But, I mean, he's a young kid, and people are telling him what to do, and he's got all these things coming at him. And in the end, it doesn't matter when the ball goes up in the air.
DJ and PK.
Hashtag college basketball.
BYU do something?
The NCAA closing in on a decision to expand the NCAA men's and women's basketball tournaments and make a final call on the proposal. Do they go to 72 or do they go to 76 teams? Are they going to add 4 or 8 teams to the field? Expected to impact the tournament next March. So another site like Dayton and more games. But how many more? Do you care? Do you care if somebody sneaks in, if it helps one of our local teams sneak into the tournament, into a BYU got sent to Dayton I think the year after Jimmer.
Multiple times.
Yeah.
I would want to see it first. I could live without it, certainly, because I think it's fine the way it is. But let me see it and what variations and what quality of teams and what levels of team, what conferences of teams, those types of things.
What quality of game?
Well, the quality of game you can never anticipate. I mean, you could have two teams that are 10 games under 500 and play great games and be triple overtime with 3 buzzer beaters all the way. So, I mean, the quality of game, you can never tell. So I'm not so sure I would be concerned about that. I would be interested in any quality of game. They're fun, and especially in a do-or-die situation where the emotions are so high and whatnot. But I would want to see that it doesn't become a joke, and so there's teams that are completely and totally unworthy, and the coach has already been fired.
It turns into a bowl game.
Right.
Some early bowl game.
Right. So we haven't had that by and large in the NCAAs, and we obviously have that because the end of the season is a month between, or at least a couple of weeks, 2 or 3 weeks before the end of the season.
Yeah, I wonder how much the basketball calendar just saves them from going through what football goes through, where the calendar just dooms football. I mean, honestly, with all the arenas they've got, it's not hard to see how they could add a couple days to this tournament,
but
move the
coaches
schedule
are getting
around.
fired in season, and now that used to not be. That was Majerus' big thing when Roger Reed. Those two were adversaries, and then all of a sudden, Majerus became Roger Reed's best buddy, inviting him to games and all that. And it was unheard of to be fired during the season in college. That is something that just doesn't happen. And then, of course, the Utah prep thing down in Hurricane, they fired the guy during the season at so-called high school. So at this point, with everything that's at stake, it wouldn't surprise me if that were to happen, and then that becomes somewhat of a joke and really waters it down.
Feels like they're inching their way to a 96-team tournament, but inching is what they're doing. DJ and PK.
Hashtag NFL.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is it. That's why we just did a 1-year deal. This was really about finishing with a lot of love and fun and peace for the career that I've had. I mean, I played 20 freaking years. It's been a long run, and I've enjoyed it. And what better place to finish than in one of the cornerstone franchises of the NFL with Mike Tomlin and a great group of leadership and great guys in the city that expects you to win.
So there is Aaron Rodgers. Pretty sure this year is the final year. Sounds more like a farewell tour than a grind to a Super Bowl, but I don't know. Maybe that's just what you have to say in June.
So you think he doesn't want to win?
No, he wants to. He wants to win, but it's about finishing with a lot of love and fun and peace. I don't know. I didn't hear winning in there anywhere.
Okay. You go. You're a tough guy.
Chiefs, Ravens, Bills. There's plenty of good teams between them and winning big, but get to the playoffs, see if you can win a game. That'd be a step forward for them. DJ and PK.
Hashtag college football.
For the next 3 to 4 years, I'll be going to Brigham Young University.
Okay, go Cougs!
Hey, Rodgers.
Congratulations, Ryder Lions, heading over there to beautiful Utah with BYU.
Yes, sir. To be honest, we're just talking about the scholarship, and they were the first ones who did it in 8th grade. So they pulled the trigger on me. They believed in me early, and it's just crazy how it all comes full circle,
You know?
Ryder Lions, 5-star quarterback prospect, going to BYU, expected to enroll in 2027. He's a 5-star prospect.
How boring. Who isn't going to BYU?
It's not news. That's
No.
That's dog bites man stuff.
Yeah.
The 4 and 5 stars headed to the Y.
It's just pipeline. This isn't a resurrection of the white pipeline. We have the Polynesian pipeline. Now we have the white pipeline. Black pipeline with AJ. Who's next? Line up. Come one, come all. The campus is our world.
They will not be outbid. And they were not outbid. Rider Lions
They weren't?
to BYU.
So he's getting the highest amount of money to go there?
High enough.
Oh, no. It's got to be the highest. You said they were not
Excuse me,
outbid.
It wasn't the winning bid.
You just said they were not outbid.
They weren't. He's going there.
Well, I was going to say,
That's the winning bid.
but hold on.
No, that's two different things.
Yeah.
The winning bid and the outbid.
It could be.
Okay, now we're changing the goalposts here. We're moving them.
Are you new to the show?
Okay.
Are you new to the
But
show?
from your side, this doesn't
true.
happen.
Not true. I did that when I finally figured out what he was doing. I did it to him one day, and he didn't know, and it was one of the happiest days, and we were still in the conference room at that point. It's like, oh, this moving the goalpost thing is great.
So what is it? Is it is it the highest bid? Obviously, it's the winning bid.
Yep.
The walk-on is the winning bid if whoever school they choose. So is it? I don't know. Is it the highest bid? I actually didn't even get into that when I discussed this for the last couple of weeks with the guys that know what they're talking about. That to me, that's like over there, and I don't really care about that over there. Why am I going to get outraged at somebody who gets this amount of money when I can go look and see all these average and maybe even some below average who have no effect on winning in the NBA getting $40 million? I think I am desensitized and totally immune to that stuff.
Yeah, I get that.
And I'm a fan. I'm not a banker, a lawyer, or a cop.
Wait a minute. Are we getting into a lyric?
And one
there?
thing for certain, it ain't never going to stop.
Stop. I knew we were getting into a lyric.
So, in all seriousness, I never asked any about that. When Keelan Marion left, I said, what's up? Oh, he wanted more money. Okay, because that has an effect on the team. An All-American kick returner and an emerging receiver to what level, but he already proved himself. Why did he want to go? Oh, money. Okay. So that was connected. I don't think Rider Lions is going to BYU for money. Marion left for money. So that was connected to the football team.
Right. And the money aspect of it, which you're right, isn't really worth delving into forever. I mean, you're right about the basketball guys. We can go through, I don't know how many high-paid pitchers are on the shelf right now. You can go on down the line with that. It's enough to keep them. I do think the thing with the money is even if you have it, coaches tire pretty quickly, clearly, of guys who come back a second and a third time for more money. Like, whatever the deal is, and don't get too freaked out about the money because obviously these coaches paid when you couldn't, or played their college football when they couldn't get paid like this. And they just, whether it's Kyle or Kalani or whoever across the country, you can't get too worked up about that. But it's Gundy at Oklahoma State. His quote about, the NIL season is done. Guys coming, looping back a second and third time.
Sure, but Marion wasn't the NIL season. I mean, it wasn't the season. It was after the season. So, yeah, that Gundy quote doesn't apply to that situation. Guys, go ahead, ask for more money.
If you're not worth it, if you're the $40 million
and if they're not going to give
it
to you and somebody else is, and that's what you want, fine. Yeah. Again, I've got no problem with that kid wanting to go to Miami because he was going to get more cash. Great. I only care how it relates to the football team. The Marion situation, that related to the football team. The Lions thing, I'm really interested. Whatever he gets is what he gets. It has no bearing to me. I want to see if he goes on a mission, comes back, whenever, blah, 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 and needs some time to get his feet wet and regain his conditioning and all. When he gets out on the field, that's what I care about.
DJ and PK.
Hashtag Major League Baseball.
Swing and a high drive. Left center field. Thomas back. Looking up at the wall. See you later. Grand slam, George Springer. And the Blue Jays lead 10-4 in the 8th.
And this one driven to left and deep. This ball heading back. It is gone. A home run for Ohtani. An opposite field shot. Home run number 27. And it is showtime here in Lodo.
Swing, and there's a line drive into center, floating and down for a hit. Ellie dashes home, and the Reds walk it off.
And he hits an arm out to right center field, pretty deep. Rafael is back. It's over his head. It's off the wall. It might be a home run. Moore's racing on his way to third. The game is tied at least as Moore has a triple, and I think he's won it. Save it back to the Red
Angels beat the Red Sox 3-2 in 10 innings. And you heard the Yankees getting beat again. The Reds pick up the win there, 5-4 in 11 innings. Yankees have lost 9 of their last 12. A midseason slump or something to worry about, PK? Just one of those things in a 162-game season.
I think so, yeah.
In that Cincinnati game, Chase Burns makes his Major League debut, and he strikes out the first 5 batters he faced.
Move over, Dwight Gooden.
Next. First time that's happened in an MLB debut since at least 1961. And then Gavin Lux won it with the walk-off that you heard there. George Springer, the grand slam. The Blue Jays beat the Guardians 10-6. The Bees lose in Reno 18-15. People like high-scoring games, but at what point are you over it and it's, it's too much?
I think selectively it's okay. If it's 2 out of 3, that type of thing, then you got a problem.
So any one game you can go to 30 runs. In this case, 33 runs.
Uh-huh. And I think we understand the minor leagues aren't going to have as good a pitching either.
Sure. Game 2 in the series today with coverage beginning at 12:50. First pitch at 1:05. It is streaming only for today's game. DJ and PK.
Hashtag NHL.
Hall of Fame class of 2025 includes former stars Zdeno Chara, Joe Thornton, Duncan Keith. 8-member class will be inducted later this year. NHL Draft Friday and Saturday. The Rangers are expected to trade the number 12 overall pick to Pittsburgh to complete the trade that saw New York pick up JT Miller in a trade last season. Utah Mammoth, rumored to be open to trading the 4th overall selection if they can land an established goalie in a trade to bolster the lineup. Will they make the move? What will Bill Armstrong do?
Yeah, we'll find out.
What is trending? Brought to you by Shamrock Plumbing. There's no job too big or too small. Get the personal touch with Shamrock Plumbing. All right, coming up, 8:30, Tim Lacombe, Utah Jazz analyst for SCG Media. 9:05, Rafael Barlow, director of scouting for the NBA Big Board. More draft talk ahead. The question of the day is next. It's also Win Tickets Wednesday. We got concert tickets to give away. We'll do that in the 8 o'clock hour. Stay with us.